Hi everyone, welcome to another episode by Poor Man Gamer. Today we're gonna go through how to beat opponents who decide to pull out a double harvester, either right in the beginning of the game or later on, and it allows them to roll out really strong units. Quite a few of you guys have commented, hey, how do we defeat decks like that? Well, I'm gonna show a few examples. Before I do, hit the subscribe button. Here's why. According to the analytics, 70% of you watch my videos every day. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. At the same time, if 70% of you guys are watching my videos every day, but you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. It will mean a lot to me. Thank you so much. And now we're going to jump right into it. I'm using a very standard NOD deck. I actually use a variety of them. So I'm going to show you guys how to defeat opponents with double harvester builds, I guess you call it, right? With a very well, with me using NOD, right? So if you're using NOD, here are a couple different variants of decks that you can use. I'm on the left-hand side. The opponent is on the right. I'm gonna speed it up here. Not much to see. I open with a laser squad. So usually when I see NOD, the first thing I do is I want to scout. With this deck in particular, I just have laser squad as my scouts. If they jump their troops over, I can get my flame troops up in time. If they send a tank, laser squads. So, you know, pretty good counter for the most part. Laser squads are fine. Right? I go ahead and I roll out a second one, not because I want to kill his rhino, but because I want to bait him into building a second anti-infantry unit. Right? Once I do that, I can go ahead and roll up my vehicles, like a tank, for example, and just crush them. See that? Pew! Pew! Ah, one more shot. And pew! All done. So now I go ahead and roll up my units and I go take a look up there, right? I don't really see anything. The missile's almost done, which is why I stay in the middle. I roll up my laser squad. I roll up my tank to the top just to see if I can get that harvester. He stalled out the missile, which is a smart move on his part, except bang! Down goes him. The missile stalled out and I'm pressuring his harvester, right? Take a look here. I didn't realize at this stage he opened with a double harvester. Right, but regardless, best practice, I have to pressure him. I did a little song and dance so like an idiot. I don't know what I was thinking. Right, with that tank, I should have lost this missile. Really bad micro on my part. Fortunately, I didn't. I roll up my Giga Cannon. I know he's down at least one harvester, which is great. And I go ahead and try to win this missile here. And there you go. So I don't know why he keeps rolling his Pippos up to the middle of nowhere to try to pressure me, and I go back up. I say, huh, he's rolling out units, but no harvesters. That's strange. So I roll down, and I figured he's probably rolled it down, and I finally see he's got a double harvester. So right now, because I was able to win that first missile, he probably is saving up for like big tech units. I start pressuring his base, right? I figured if I can just keep pressuring him, he's gonna have to build cheap units. So here's the tip for you guys. If you see the opponent rolling out double harvester, and you know that they're gonna roll out strong tech lab units, go ahead and pressure their base, right? Obviously, he built all the wrong units. You see tanks, he should have rolled out a zone trooper at least. But he doesn't, so that allows my Giga Cannon to do some work on him. Giga Cannons, the downside is they're not like an MLRS. You can't shoot over obstacles. You have to have a direct line of sight. And as you can see here, all this pressure is forcing him to make bad decisions. He just keeps rolling out harvesters to feed me, really, right? I'm not even really... I should have built a cheap unit in the back to keep the missile count going. I didn't, right? So that's a mistake on my part, right? Everybody makes them, but really you can keep pressuring the opponent, especially when you have the upper hand here like I do. Just go ahead and attack their base. So that's one strategy you could potentially use, which is pressure the enemy harvester, and if you win that first missile, pressure their base directly and don't even let them get their tech lab units out. So we're going to show you another example here of an opponent that if I remember correctly, is a little bit better. Was it this guy here? So let's find out. I think it was him. As you can see here, he's got a lot of tech lab units, which is not a bright move on his part, because he doesn't really have any mid-game punch, right? So he might get off to a hot start, but once after that hot start, he's not going to do very well. Again, I open with a harvester, nothing special. I'm going to speed it up right quick. I roll on the laser squad, I roll a second one, right? And you see what I see here. So I go ahead and pressure him now. I am trying to keep that missile count going. I'm just moving my laser squad back because I want to see what he's doing with his stupid laser trooper. And look at that. Because he did see 2 laser squads, he built 2 shockwave troops, and guess what? I'm not countering him with a flame troop. I'm sending out my NOD buggy. NOD buggy is going to make real quick work out of him. What I should have done was allow the missile to keep going here instead of letting it stall out. But so far I've only seen 1 harvester, right? I didn't see the one on the top yet, which is why I didn't pressure him that hard. So I go ahead and blow one up, okay? And I use my NOD buggies to crush his shockwave troops. Obviously I have the advantage here. I roll it out, missile's almost done. I see double harvester for the first time. So I immediately roll up a tank to the top, right? Avoid his missile squad. And I go ahead and use my NOD buggy to squeeze him after I finish that missile. And boom, 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 he's done, right? So I immediately pressure downward to get his second harvester, and I tile block him. And out comes his Kodiak. So a lot of you people believe that once you roll out a Kodiak, you can pretty much immediately win by default. It's not overpowered because they're really, really slow, and you can't just randomly roll them out, right? Like right now, he's not doing anything. He's trying to chase my tank down. Big, big mistake on his part, right? And I'll leave my tank there. So second tip for you guys, if you can pressure the enemy harvester, basically park right on the Tiberium and prevent them from harvesting at all, right? As you can see here, his double harvester had no advantage whatsoever. I do realize that my units are pretty weak, so potentially I could lose this missile, which is why I roll up my Banshees, I move my tank down, right? And I roll a NOD buggy to take care of his missile squad. I stopped it short for some reason like an idiot. He's not going to win this missile for me, right? I'm not that stupid. I'm not going to let him win it. I go ahead and I just roll his basic anti-infantry units. By now it's too little too late. There's nothing you can do. I'm going to get this missile. And the game's over, right? So there you go. Boom, base blows up, I win. Next. Yeah, that opponent was not as strong as I thought he would be. My apologies, I thought he was a lot stronger. Let's see here. Oh, here's a good match. So this guy was actually a pretty good player. He successfully rolled out an avatar twice, and it actually put me in a bit of a bind. And I will show you some of the mistakes that I made in hopes that you guys don't make the same mistakes. So in these small maps, tip number 3, make sure you open with the right units. One of the games I opened with a chem buggy, which was a joke. I'm mixing it up now. I'm showing you guys a GDI deck because I want to show you guys you can kill a double harvester deck just as efficiently with a GDI deck, right? A lot of people love NOD or GDI. I want to show you guys the possibilities of both. In this particular build, I'm using again a missile squad instead of a laser troops. And I'm using a Rhino, a Pitbull, a Predator tank, and my favorite unit right now, which is the Kodiak. So I'm just doing a little bit of damage to chip away at his harvester. I know it's not going to do much. Not a big deal because what I really want to do is let him think that I'm just rolling out a lot of infantry. So I bait him into building anti-infantry, and so I can roll up my Pitbulls. Alright, I should have rolled out a tank in this case. He was smart. He crushed me with a Scorpion. And I was actually pretty fortunate that I didn't lose this right away. I used my laser missile squad to engage him on the bottom. Stalling out the missile is not good in my favor. I let my harvester take a little bit of damage before I engage him because I needed that little bit of extra Tiberium to charge up my tank. I go ahead now and I start pressuring his harvester, which is what you see here. I shouldn't have taken I took the long route around. Shouldn't have done that. He rolls out a stealth tank. I've seen stealth tanks used to a lot higher frequency nowadays because they're great anti-air and anti-vehicles. The trick with stealth tanks is you gotta hit and run, which is why if I see stealth tanks, I have Predators and Pitbulls out on the map. I didn't see that my missile squad was there because it blended into the background. I am colorblind, legit colorblind, right? I couldn't see that stupid laser squad was standing there. Otherwise, I would have kept the missile going. I know you're gonna rapidly see why this gets me in trouble. So here's the example. See that? I bait his stealth tank into chasing my Predator tank, and then I go ahead and finish him off with my Pitbull. I know he's got a double harvester right now, but I want to make sure I secure this first missile. If I can secure this first missile, I can apply a lot stronger pressure. And with this first missile, I roll my tanks up, and look, he's got his avatar. Look at that. Charged up, too. But again, I'm just pressuring his enemy harvester here. Right, I'm delaying him as much as I can. He does a lot of, crushes a couple of my units, right? And he's gonna get my harvester. Fortunately, I have the Kodiak, which is my counter to him. right? I know you guys want to see games where I absolutely dominate the opponent, but the truth is, quite a few of my wins, like, I'm not at that level of those pro guys, right? I'm not there yet, and I don't think I ever will be. But what I am is an okay guy who kind of knows what I'm doing, right? And, so you're not going to see perfect games, but you're going to see games where it should reflect the majority of your experiences. So now I go ahead and roll up my Pred tank, and I do something really stupid here. His base is actually pretty weak. I should have just gone ahead and crushed him, but instead I'm standing my Kodiak there, not doing anything, and just sacrifice my Kodiak for no apparent reason, right? You see that? I just sacrificed a whole bunch of units for nothing. And I gave away this missile because my Pred tank's so slow. I don't know what I was thinking, right? Clearly I wasn't. So I figured, nuts to him, it takes a stealth tank forever to kill me. Why don't I just go up and blow up his base like I normally do with a Kodiak? Duh, right? So look at that. Bang, bang, bang. I try to attack him real quick. It takes a stealth tank a while. Now he's got a whole bunch of stealth tanks out there, which is not to his advantage because I got level 11 Pred tanks and I'm going to have more Kodiaks coming down the pipeline. So I go ahead and attack his harvesters a little more. I didn't realize he has such a strong economy. Right? How was I supposed to know? He rolls out another avatar, but I figured at this stage of the game, look at where my Kodiak is. There's absolutely no way he's going to get to me. So bang, 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 I finish off his base and I get the win. So folks, lots of mistakes in here. But the tip I can give you is if you see a double harvester from the opponent, you don't have to jump into one yourself. Just go ahead and start attacking his harvester and put pressure on him and try to win the missile. So we're going to go ahead here and I'm going to show you guys one more match. This is with a NOD deck. I actually make some pretty big mistakes. The only reason I have a chem buggy in this deck is because it was part of my daily challenge. I just wanted to get it over with, right? Otherwise, instead of a chem buggy, I would have a NOD buggy instead because it's so much cheaper, or a flame squad, right? Either way, either one works, but I wouldn't have a chem buggy. I love chem buggies. It's just mine's level 9. I don't have enough credits to upgrade it any further, and they're very expensive, right? And to me, they're not worth the cost. So I go ahead and stall out just to see what he does, and oh, lo and behold, he opens with a double harvester. So I immediately use my bikes. Did you notice how I backed off one tile? Yeah, the reason I did that is because now is one tile further away for him. And this is the bane of my existence. I find Mohawks to be actually quite a powerful unit. I know in previous videos I said Orca is better for hit and run. I didn't realize how strong high-level Mohawks could be, like, and they just crush vehicles. Which is why I'm so glad I put laser squads into this deck. It's actually the reason why I have laser squads in this deck in the first place, is to prevent this exact situation. So I'm trying my best here to pressure his harvester even more. I was worried his Mohawk was going to come down and crush me. I go ahead and let him charge up the missile, and I see so many air units that I roll up my Phantom a little early. Bad mistake, should have attacked the Talon on the top first. I do get a hit on his hammerhead, but bad micro on my part, right? And I don't know what he's doing camping his hammerhead there. He should have used it to pressure my base. Clearly this guy has been winning because he has a level advantage. He hasn't been winning because he has skills, right? I roll my bikes out. I'm just gonna move it to where his talons are. I know he's got an economic advantage right now, and which is why I finally roll my own double harvester. Now at this stage of the game, I am very worried that he's going to roll out incredibly strong tech lab units because I have not been able to successfully pressure him. His Mohawk has been taking out my vehicles very, very well, and his Talon has been used with really good precision to defend my missile squads. So I go ahead and just keep pressuring him as best I can. I use the Phantom to knock out his Talons, right? And I'm just trying my best to continue to pressure his air units. Out comes a hammerhead. I should have just targeted his hammerhead. I don't know why I ran away. So that was dumb on my part. I am finally able to take out one of his stupid harvesters, right? To slow him down a bit, and because of all those flames, it does slow him down even more. My laser squad now comes out and running. This guy should have beaten me. He had a stronger deck. He had a good matchup against me, and I didn't play this very well. right? The big weakness of this deck is if they are very, very air unit heavy like you see here, I don't do very well against them. Fortunately, I do have a Phantom. I slow down his Kodiak a little bit. I'm trying to win this missile at this stage. Come on, Phantom, go! But he rolls on a Hammerhead. So now it gets interesting. I should have pushed forth my Inferno to the top, but instead I rolled it backwards because I'm backwards and I'm an idiot. I should have rolled my Phantom all the way across, and now that he's almost got my base, I absolutely cannot lose this missile. Fortunately, I was able to body block him just a little bit with the Inferno, and I get this missile before he blows up my base. But bad micro on my part. So guys, I am not playing sharp right now, but as you can see, it is still very possible to beat these double harvester decks. So if you guys are curious as to how to do it, I hope those are good examples for you guys, right? And I'm going to see if I can possibly show you one more that's decent. No, I think that's it, because the other ones aren't really good matchups. I was a lot stronger than the opponent, and they were matches that I believe I should have won anyways. You can see here, I have 10s and 11s. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a wonderful day. Take care.